Hi everyone, it's Alex here from the Mad Cartographer. I am going to give you a bit of a showcase through our free Foundry VTT Battlemap pack. I was going to do like a little bit of a snapshot thing, blasting through everything so you can just kind of get a snapshot of what the maps look like. But we do advanced Foundry maps, so it doesn't really do it justice. Some of them I'm going to glance over quite quickly, but one or two of them I'm going to give you a little bit more of an involved look into what the map does and some of the kind of cool stuff that we do with our Foundry maps over at the Mad Cartographer. So, as I said, this is a free Battlemap pack. There are 27 different maps, but that is not including variants. There are some additional variants as well. So there's over 30 maps in this pack, and we're going to keep adding new ones every week. That's the plan. So once you've installed it, anytime you see an update flag, then just hit the update and you'll get one of our new maps added. However, if you are interested and you like what you see here, then if you sign up to our Patreon, you will get thousands of maps and tiles, because we've been doing this for 3 years and we've got a hell of a lot of stuff now. You only need to sign up once. We are attached to the Foundry Patreon premium content, so you can sign up, download everything, and then end your subscription. If you end your subscription, it doesn't remove your content, it just means you won't be able to update it or get any of our new stuff. So, jumping in, free Battlemap pack. We are now starting to put these little cool splash screens into all of our packs, all of our map packs. We do a new theme every month, and so for our free one, you've just got a little button here that will open a journal, and you can go through all the maps that are in this pack, and it tells you which of the themes it fell in. We do about 10 to 12 very involved maps every month. Some of the older map packs have a hell of a lot more. Back in the day where I was the Map-A-Day Cartographer, that's what the Mad Cartographer stands for. But anyway, we've got these little buttons here that are built in. This opens up journals because that's the only functionality that the buttons can do anyway. But it lets you go to our Discord, and then obviously click link to go and check out our Patreon. So that's the splash page. We've got this little running YouTube video. You can click that to see some of the other stuff that we've done. But I'm going to give you a little showcase of some of these maps. So some of them are pretty simple. So we've got the likes of this one. We do pretty much everything with sounds, which you'll hear in the background. I'm going to turn those down in a minute. But we do sounds, we do walling, we do lighting, and as you can see, we've got canopies as well. Pretty much everything that we do now has canopies. We're also going back over all our old stuff to put canopies in content that was released before the canopy system even existed in Foundry. We use a lot of advanced modules such as levels made by Ripper. We use token attacher, Monk's active tiles, and tile scroller. Those are our core ones that we use. So you can see here we've got an autumn one, we've got a spring one, and then we've got a night variant as well. We do generally do darker night variant maps as opposed to just putting a black, using the darkness scaling in Foundry itself. It just looks a little bit prettier. So pretty simple one. Again, we've got a free giant rock nest here. These are all canopies, but we've used the built-in rain feature, the weather system that is now in Foundry Core, and it looks pretty good. So you could turn that off if you didn't want it. The variants of this, we've got autumn ones, we've got ones with and without the nest, so we kind of tweak things up quite a bit when we make our maps. So this one is one of our, not complex, but this is where we've used token attacher. And you'll see that in all of our maps we have off the screen, so everything's walled off so the players can't actually see this. But we've got these little DM notes to let you know what triggers and things are available on the map. Not everybody's like so used to using things like token attacher or Monk's tiles, so we kind of help you out. And we're going to be doing these kind of showcases for all of our themed maps. So we'll be able to kind of walk everybody through the maps and show just exactly what it is that they're supposed to do. So for this one, these triremes, and we've got 2 of them. We've got a red one and a blue one, red team, blue team. And this is on token attached. So you can see this little icon here. It's in the center of the trireme, which is a Greek ship for those that don't know. So this actually does have canopy elements. But all these dudes at the moment, as this is a token and it can move around, all the tokens are staying still. However, with Token Attacher, if you have it installed, which is a dependency, so if you install our packs, it will prompt you to install them anyway. You hit this little link button, you can select these, and then you select these little dudes here. You can use the selection tool to select more than one. And then you hit the Attach Linked Elements. And try it again there. Oh, I've not got that linked. Yeah, we have. Okay, that should have done it. Is this going to be a terrible example? Oh, there you go. It did work. It just didn't give me a message. It normally gives you a little message saying when things have attached. So now you can be sailing around. You know, the boat can move on a turn. And then when the turn is over, you can then open Token Attacher again. Select these dudes. Select your players. And then unlink them. And then they can move around independently again. So it just gives you these kind of more dynamic ways of using the maps. So, you know, you could throw a bunch of these on. You can have, you know, warring ships, a big massive fleet. And this came from our Mythic Greece pack, which was released with just normal oceans. There was a whirlpool. There was 3 whirlpools. There was a big maelstrom with all lightning and stuff as well, which is pretty cool. So that's whirlpool. Gulthias tree. This is from Curse of Strahd. For anybody that is aware. Again, nothing major to this one. This is just a canopy one. And we've used, again, the weather effects. So we've got the mist rolling over. And then we just, you know, got some little canopy elements here going under this big branch of this big creepy tree. And then just a lot of canopies. So for this one, Swamp Sanctuary, we do again. This is a night version. In the paid ones, we have a day and night version. Nothing major to this one. We've got some canopy elements with the bare trees, but that is about it on this one. Again, everything is fully walled. We have all lights and ambient effects for all the water in this flooded swamp church. One of my favorite maps. Not, you know, I made this one. A lot of my favorite maps I don't make. Other people in the team make them. And the Jade Temple was one of them, which we'll get to in a second. We have here another relatively involved and complex one. So this is a bank heist, and it starts with, you can kind of wall this area off, but it's essentially they have dug from one building and they're breaking into this bank vault. So we've got some canopy elements here at the beginning where you come through the tunnel. Everything's kind of like locked off, everything's walled off. Now with this, obviously you're going to see it from the DM point of view, but with this is also a token attacher, and we've got these little lights attached to it, so it's like a security system. And the concept is that players have to kind of memorize where these lights are. In my head, you don't have to do it this way. They have to memorize where the lights are going to be on every turn. And so they've got to kind of like make sure that they move into a right square. And then if it turns, we've got the notes up here that tell you about it. But what would happen is if you trigger this alarm, we actually have in Token Attacher in our actors, we have Bank Heist, and we have the bank alarm triggered. Now it's got the same icon there, and when we drag it on, there you go. So it brings with it some flashing lights, it brings with it an alarm that the players are going to hear that's starting to sound over and over and over again. That might be the point where you actually turn it down a little bit, or not. And we've also got these bad boys here, which are bank golems. We've got these already placed in into the map if you wanted to use them. So fun little map with some pretty cool dynamic elements to them. We always try to do stuff with Token Attacher, like puzzles or moving walls, and you know, some, like I said, more advanced content. Nothing advanced about Jade Temple, just a really pretty map. This one wasn't made by me. Again, this is also one of my favorite maps. Got little secret rooms here, little secret door. Again, all is walled off. And the only thing that we have is that there is a canopy element over here going under this elephant. And with all of our canopy stuff, when it's things that are this big, we generally wall them off with an invisible wall so that the players can go underneath the bits that they're supposed to go under without clipping under areas that they're not. That's pretty consistent through the majority of our work. So we now have Endless Wizard's Tower. Okay, so this was part of a larger pack. So this is actually the opening one. So it's just a portal gate, and this is how you would access the Wizard's Tower. And there were, I feel like there's like 20 rooms that we made, and you can kind of put them in any order. They're not like kind of like specific progression or anything like that. So this one's a fairly simple one. With a lot of the rooms, we did collaborations with other artists, musicians, item makers, and we threw a lot of content into that themed pack. So there's some adventure elements in there. There's some like magic items that have also got graphics made for them, and it's a pretty cool pack. So for this one, fairly simple, not much to this one in terms of advanced. However, we've got I'll show Summoning Circle first. So again, Luke's fairly simple, but you can see we've got this little thing over here. We've got a bit of a prompt, and again, similar to the bank heist, if you go to Summoning Circle and you drag this on here, if somebody's performing a ritual in the middle, that gets blasted on, changes the lighting, got some animation on there, and I think it's actually got some sounds as well. Let's put a character on here so you can hear the sounds. It's probably some spooky. Ooh, fire! There we go. There you go. Some nice fire sounds in the background. Now, speaking of sounds, this next one is pretty great. This one I collaborated with Sean from MCRO Music, and this was their idea to do this room, but then I was like, can we do it like this? And so Sean made all the music, and they basically came up with the idea of doing a Fantasia room. I was like, that's fantastic. Let's go with that. And so they do all the compositions, and they put the tracks together. And I said, with all the instruments that you're using, can you isolate each individual instrument that you use and give me a list of those instruments? And so they did. So when the character, and let me turn the audio up here just to make sure. I think you should be able to hear it fine. But let's make sure. So you can hear when they walk around the room. You're hearing all the different instruments being played individually, and these are the parts of the song that they're actually playing. So there's like just a radius on these for how close you get to, but then when you go in the middle, it's playing all of the instruments together at the same time. So you kind of like when you get into the center, you can hear them all, and that's a little bit loud, so I'm going to turn that back down. So yeah, I really love this map. I love the concept of it. It was pretty good. So this one is Fountain of Ochikoro. People might have seen this before. We've kind of promoted this from time to time. We've given it away sometimes, and now we've added it to our free pack. This is part of a full adventure. The adventure content isn't included in here. However, we have now actually made all of our 5e adventure content available through our Patreon. Previously, we used to have them as monthly exclusives. Now, if you sign up, I think we've got 20 5e adventures of various levels in a single module, and we just add to them every so often when we make them. We don't focus on 5e adventures, but you know, when we make them, then they get added to our module. So if you sign up, you'll get everything straight away. And then again, if you kind of ended your subscription but then saw, oh, another adventure has been added or that pack needs updating, then you could kind of sign up again, update it, and get the new content from there if you wanted to. So with this one in particular, I love this map. I love how this map looks. again, my concept, I did the layout, I did the design and the walling, but it was one of the older members of the team that actually did the designs and a lot of the illustrations and stuff like that. And so the adventure was made by One Page Mage, so this was actually a bit of a hired collaboration. So in the adventure, there's loads of little puzzles and stuff like that we've done for it. However, the big thing about this map is that it rotates. I got the concept of this from, and I forget the name of the map. It was one that I saw years and years and years ago. We're talking like a decade ago. But it was by Djekspek, Djekspek. And it was a concept that was basically a rotating rings the dungeon. And thankfully, due to token attacher, we are able to replicate that. So it's a little bit fiddly at first, but you have this central ring that can be rotated. And then if I hit tab twice, it selects the other ring, and then you've got this outer ring. And you can see there's certain places where the rooms will link up to each other. So in the adventure, these rings turn at certain times, and the players have to try and navigate their way through it. Sometimes they get boxed off from each other, they get trapped. Sometimes they have to wait for something to turn. So it's a pretty cool, involved adventure and map. And when it rotates, all the walls and all the lights and everything rotates with it. Again, it's token attacher. It takes a little bit to get used to, but you can lock the players and enemies in place, rotate it, and then unlock them so that they can carry on doing it. If you're looking for something to kind of blow your players' minds, this is probably the one. So we're really proud of this one. So this one is one of the first ones we made from Dreaded Domains, Van Richten's. So this was the Headless Horseman's bridge, and this is the first time that I ever made a map for levels using Ripper's module. And so we've got this bridge, the rooftop that disappears, and you're kind of under this canopy. You can go up, I'm going to guess 15, there you go. So then you're above it. You can go up another 15 and you'll be on the roof, I imagine. So we've got, you can be up there. But if you're back down here, seems to be some issues with the sound there. We'll get them fixed as well. You can descend under the bridge. And then you can also be under the bridge as well. We've got this little shaded area where you can kind of see where the bridge is. And then you go, move back up to the ledge, and then you're back on the normal floor. So that was the first one we did for levels. Pretty cool having, you've got under the bridge, on the bridge, and then in the rafters, and then up on the rooftop. So you've got, quite a few different levels for what is otherwise a fairly simple map. It adds a lot more tactical content to it. So this was the lightning rail. This is Sire 1313, another Dreaded Domains one. So we used Tile Scroll for this one. Used to be Parallaxia. Parallaxia stopped getting updates in version 10, I believe. So we switched over to Tile Scroll, which does essentially the same thing. And this is just our lightning rail. Now, this is a modular one. I'll show you here. You can kind of move these around, and you can take them and add them back on. And in the Patreon, we have a whole bunch of these. I think we've got 20. I think we've got 20 of this style, and then we've just done a bunch for keys for the Golden Vault, and there was Concordant Express, I think. So we've got a bunch of trains for that. Different style, but also modular stuff, so you could mix and match them if you wanted to. We've got... thought I did have people placed on here before, but apparently not. So again, it's all token attacher. Got some animated lightning elements there. Those were made by JB2A. They were actually made for a different map a long time ago, but we use them on here as well. And then you can just navigate between the different the different carriages. There's no rooftops on this one. It is a plan for the future, so it can be a full levels map. We made this before we started making levels content. Obviously, this was in the same theme as the bridge. But we have been asked about having a rooftop on here. We did that for the Concordant Express. So the other train map that we've made does have where you can go on top of the roofs and all that good stuff. But again, you can, you depending on what you want to happen, you could have these derail, you could have, them moving around. Yeah, lots of options with this one, and obviously with the Patreon, there's so many carriages you can mix and match and make whatever suits your campaign. So okay, where are we at? Oh yes, getting a long video. Told you there's a lot to talk about, but I hope it's interesting. So Big Top, this was also from Dreaded. Oh no, this was Feywild's Carnival, from Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Yeah, so this big canopy using better roofs. I think that's just about picking the music up in the background. Like I say, we have ambient music and sounds on everything. We always make a point of it. So this is just a big a big circus. You can kind of do whatever you want. That door's open there. Should be shut probably by default. You've got a little tightrope here, so you can climb up the pole. And you can be on top of it, so you can see before when you go down the pole, you're underneath it. So just a little bit of something there. So that's a cool one. Let's let's copy him if just in case he's not placed on the other ones. These are pretty simple. So these are just some extra stuff for the carnival. These are all canopies, so you can walk under them. And we've got two. We've actually got quite a lot more with the Patreon. So there's a whole bunch of these. We made these as token attacher tiles as well. So they're kind of like geomorph tiles where you can add them together and rotate them and move them around, and you can piece together various parts of the carnival. There are like various rides and attractions and the Big Top, and they will all piece together into one bigger map if you just wanted a big carnival map. We've got like a big snail racing thing with actual big snail tokens that we made. It's pretty cool. So Riven Wish Chasm was also from that. Again, fairly simple, just a really pretty map. Got a little secret room over here, and then there's just a bunch of canopy elements. This bridge has got canopy elements as well. Just adds that little extra to the maps. We love adding in the canopy stuff these days. Another canopy map. It seems like the very least we can do these days. And this is for part of our Badlands pack, where we've got all sorts of kind of like Rockies and gorges and stuff like that. So this is just a big old bone map. Where are we at? Mad Alchemist. This one is quite an involved one. And it's been real problematic to actually get it working right. So it is essentially a big scientist's laboratory, but there's two floors to it. So we've got this upper area, and then you can see here that we've got these various stairs that will take you down a layer. So now you're under the upper grate, and then there's just all these little underground waterway, kind of like where stuff's been washed away into the sewers. But you come out in different hatches and stuff like that. So you can move around this. Pretty tactical if you're fighting the likes of, I don't know, a lich or something like that. Some kind of mad scientist. A really, really fun map. Lots to do here. And we have this as an adventure, I believe, as well. It is the Ooze Alchemist's Lair, I think. and that was made by TJ over at the DM Tool Chest. So Red Dragon Lair, just a big great map. Whether it's dragons, whether it's Durgar, elementals, whatever. I think there's just like a small canopy here with the webs. Okay, so yeah, so there's like little bits here. There's like kind of like hidden, kind of like hidden areas and stuff like that that you can kind of uncover. Little secret escapes from the throne room or the secondary throne. There's like all sorts of audience chambers and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Forest Overwatch, quite a simple map, but the canopy elements can be a little bit involved at times. So it is just like a forest Overwatch at the side of a forest lake, but we have some canopy stuff. So you can see here that when you go under here, you're actually under the canopy elements. But if you go up the ladder, you're then actually in the watchtower area. And there's a northern watchtower as well. So we've got it so that the canopy changes. So you can see here that we've made these rooftops a little bit translucent, because once you're here, you should be able to see what's under there. It shouldn't be so blocked off. But when you're down, you can see that it's under the actual frame of the watchtower itself, so you don't see in the upper floor. So just a cool little map, very kind of multifunctional. World Tree Routes. This is a big map. So it's got some kind of cool little kind of perspective canopies, like kind of very close to you, so it kind of feels like it's a little bit more immersive. We've got kind of canopies all around here, but essentially this is a huge sprawling cavern that goes to a big crevasse in the middle, huge, and then a big kind of, I don't know, World of Warcraft, Elden Ring style world tree, and obviously all walled off. All lights and sounds and everything that you would need to do. I don't know what. Do whatever, man. This is a full adventure location if you want to make it, and a big massive area for some sort of cool boss fight for sure. Again, you've got all these kind of little canopies, perspective canopies at the edge, just to kind of make it a little bit more involved. See, we have got Dockside Tavern. So this is part of our Oceans theme. So this dude, you can kind of hear some tavern music in the background. You might not be able to hear it just yet, but it's going to pick up as we move closer to the tavern. It's got this full open wall Wharf Tavern. It's got some canopies out here you can go under. It's got some kitchen areas, and it is an upper floor inn as well. So you've got all these different rooms, and obviously you can get on top of the rooftop as well. Just a really cool map made by one of the team. We've left a big open area here if you wanted to drop in a ship or any kind of asset. Obviously we do have at hand the triremes, probably a little bit too big, but you could kind of consider it. Maybe not ones with all the oars out, though. A little bit obstructing. Coral Caves, again from our Oceans theme. Just a simple, pretty, completely underwater dungeon. So we've got kind of all this effect and the moving water and things like that. It's mostly walled, but then we've got these little canopy arches that you move under just to kind of be a little bit more immersive. It's probably one of those that's a little bit tricky to navigate, but that was made intentionally. It's not always easy to tell where you're supposed to go, but I think that kind of adds to the panic of being in an underwater dungeon. So bakery. So we've got our downtown theme, which is modular buildings. So we have buildings that you can drag and drop onto the map and place them however you want. On the splash screen at the beginning, if you check the YouTube video there, you'll see that we've got modular caverns, modular dungeons, and modular cities. But we've also made modular tiles, so it looks something like this, where you can drop a full section where these buildings with the white doors, you can't go in them. The ones with the green doors, you can. And so that indicates like which is the interactive buildings. But otherwise, you can piece all the tiles together and have like a very quick pre-built city, or you can place individual buildings. You know, we've got blank tiles as well. But this is our bakery, all fully walled, and this one's pretty cool. It's, you know, got some really nice assets in it, and we've just got a cellar that you can go in. Fairly simple. And yeah, just goes well with all the other ones that we've got. Probably a little bit more useful is the large warehouse that we've got. So whether you know you've got criminals or smugglers or whatever, it's a pretty good one. So this is an upper layer, so it's just like an upper platform that you can't see up until you go up the stairs. And then when you do go up the stairs, it shows this kind of like similar to the bridge that we did. You've got this upper floor with these cross beams that if you go up, I'm going to guess, let's say 20. It'll be in the notes. There you go. So you can be above all the rooms below, and you can be walking along here if you're here to spy on a meeting or assassinate somebody like that. You can be up in the rafters or on the roof, or however you want to go about it. We do that quite a lot. We've got a bunch of buildings for this. We've done a heists theme, so the entire month we did a bunch of buildings on locations where you can have a heist. So we did like a museum, an underwater kind of an underwater facility, had like glass corridors and stuff, so you could see through and see the canopy elements, which is pretty cool. So Scribe, really simple one, this one, but again, one of my favorites. It's just a room with just an immense pile of books, magical books, and then they're all floating around. We've used tile scroll for this. You can make it go like parallaxia, like forward, so it looks like the train tracks, or you can have it rotating as well. And so you've just got your guys or your gals moving around under here. And we use this, and I think, yeah, we fought some scribe dude that was all made out of spell book pages and scrolls and stuff like that. And yeah, but it comes with like a whole area at the beginning. So you've got like all these bookshelves. So it's just like this forgotten library or something along those lines. That can be a locked door if you don't want your players to get in there straight away. Little area up here. But yeah, just a weird and wonderful library filled with too many books that just keep getting written and written and written. Spider Queen Temple. So this is a temple to the Spider Queen, or Lolth, depending on which setting you're using. And so this has got this big spider rooftop in this temple underground, and then you go inside and you've got some pretty cool areas. Very boss fight worthy, I think. And there's like a little alchemy area at the front where people have been bound and imbibed, I guess. You write the story. And so, last one. Again, one that people have probably seen quite a lot. We have now updated this. We've been going back over quite a few of our maps, especially with the free pack, just so they're more representative of what our stuff is like now. And so that is going back and adding in a lot more canopies, adding in levels and stuff like that. So originally, this did not have any canopy elements to it at all. But now we've got it so that this jaw has been added. So that when you go into it, you're in the mouth first. And then you kind of go into the throat and the ribs like the rib walls and stuff, you can now go under slightly, just to give you a little bit of, even though you're kind of inside it, it's just to make you feel like you're a little bit more inside. And so this is just the blank version of the map. Yes, it looks like a penis. I am fully aware. It has been said many a time. However, there is a really cool adventure that was made by Luke from the DM's Lair for this, called the Worm Witch. We also have that available on the Patreon, and so we've rekitted it out, and it's for the adventure. And there's like an alchemist's table in there, and there's kind of like little sleeping areas, and then there's a big kind of like base at the end. It comes, you know, with a full adventure plot hook and all that kind of stuff. So again, that comes with the Patreon. So there you go. That's everything. That's everything we've got at the moment. So you know, we're well aware that times are pretty hard. So if you just want a bunch of really cool free maps, then go and download the pack. And as I said, we will keep adding new content to it. We're hoping to get ourselves into a position where people can come to our Patreon, and we'll open up a free poll for anyone that's following the page, and you can vote on which map is going to be added to the pack next. So, you know, try and get involved in that way if you are keen. But otherwise, like I said, less than $20 will get you everything that we've ever made, and there is a lot. So that took 36 minutes, coming up on 37. Not bad. Thank you for watching. I hope it was worth it. I hope you appreciate the why, that it's quite involved. So yeah, thanks for checking us out, and hopefully we'll see you over on the Patreon. If not, enjoy the free content and enjoy whatever comes next. Bye.